Welcome to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. We're just moments away from the start of the Division I state championship game between Archbishop Rummel of Metairie and C.E. Byrd of Shreveport. There is Coach Jay Roth, who has received the official game ball. His counterpart from Byrd, Coach Mike Suggs, will be coming into your picture in just a moment. This is the traditional show of sportsmanship as both head coaches are awarded the commemorative game ball just prior to the kickoff. Rummel won the toss. It has deferred its choice until the second half, so Byrd will get the football first when we start play in just a few seconds. And there is Coach Mike Suggs, who has won nearly 2/3 of his game. Jay Ross right there. Let's go down to Aaron Cofield with Coach Mike Suggs. Aaron?
Thanks, Lynn. Coach Byrd playing here in the Dome for the first time since 1962. A very big deal, I know, for the Shreveport area. What did you tell your team?
Well, you know, it's just a great accomplishment to get here, and we're so proud of them. That's what I told them. I loved them and proud of them, and I know they're going to lay it on the line, and win, lose, or draw, you know, nothing's going to change.
What does your team need to do well tonight?
We've got to control the football and keep their offense off the field and not turn the ball over.
All right, thanks so much. Good luck.
All right, thank you.
I will be on the Byrd sideline this evening. Over on the Rummel sideline is Chad Sabity. He's joined now by their head coach, Jay Roth.
Thank you, Aaron. Coach Jay Roth, your team was in the state championship a year ago and got the job done. What are the biggest keys for victory tonight?
Well, we're playing a very disciplined, sound football team, slowing them down on defense and getting our offense started early.
Rummel football, continuing the tradition. What does it mean to be back here, but what will it mean to get another W?
It feels great to be back, but at this point, we don't want to just feel good. We want to come out with a win.
All right, Coach, I know beating St. Aug was huge, but this is as big as it gets now.
Well, we got to shake that one off. Yeah, that was big, but this is for the trophy.
That's right, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you. All right.
All right, guys, this one is for the trophy. Let's go back up to you in the booth.
Okay, Chad, thank you very much. Renee, let's look at our Blue Cross Blue Shield keys to the game for Rummel and Byrd.
For Rummel, establish the run. Running will open things up, and defensively make them work. Stress fundamentals, not give up the big play. For Byrd, let's get physical. The 11 John 80s hit. A game will be won in the pits, no turnovers on offense, and force some turnovers on defense.
Both of these teams are very similar in their styles of play and their playbook. And here we go with the J.C. Fodale opening kickoff. It is Haggerty from the 12-yard line. He slithers to the 20 and stretches that return maybe to the 22. And that's where Byrd puts its offense on the field. And it's been a potent one, Renee, averaging 40.5 points per game this year. Tyler Howard is the quarterback. This junior doesn't throw much. He's completed 56.6% of his passes. He's only thrown it 53 times. 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Byrd will come at you from a double wing formation. Their fullback, Lewis Mills, who's had a shoulder problem this year, is a very special runner. We'll talk to you more about him as we move on. Let's look at our State Farm starting lineups for the Byrd Yellowjackets. Caleb Ward is the left tackle, Will Slocum, Ryan Downey, Jamaris Fitzpatrick, and Spencer Little also up front. The backs and receivers, Tyson Hardman, a wingback, along with the fullback, Lewis Mills, Jordan Powell, and Wyatt Broom are wide receivers. The tight end is Michael Dunman, who's a big target. Both of these teams will run the football most of the time. Mills gets the carry again and is knocked down after a very short gain. Let's check in on the defensive side of the ball with the State Farm starting lineups for Rummel. Matt Kennedy, Briston Guidry, Tyrell Jacobs, and Herman Thomas up front. It's a very strong front seven. The linebackers, Delshon Moses, Michael Mosley, and also Andre Tolliver, Brandon Phillips, Dwayne Eugene, and you see the rest. How far can he go? Down the far sideline. It's Haggerty. He's tackled at the stripe. Touchdown from 73 yards away. A quick explosion.
And Tyler Howard demonstrated this expertly on a pitch. No one took the pitch man until it was too late, and Haggerty made him pay. As you can see, that no one was on the outside taking a pitch man. They took the quarterback but didn't assign anyone for the pitch man, and Haggerty is the 11th touchdown of the season.
And the two-point conversion try does not work out, but it's a 6-0 lead for Byrd. Dominic Haggerty is on the way to the end zone.
They took the dive man and the quarterback, but did not allow someone to watch Haggerty, who can make you pay. He's got some wheels on the outside, Lynn, and he had 144 yards against Lakeshore earlier this year in the touchdown, and you got to watch him. He's got some ability.
The Baden scoring drive, it took just 3 plays to move 77 yards in 79 seconds. Dominic Haggerty finished it with a 73-yard run to the right side, up the far sideline in front of the Rummel bench, and just like that, this Byrd team has taken a 6-0 lead.
We'll see if that play spills over to the Byrd defense and kind of gives them a little momentum going here. And also, Rummel has found themselves behind before and have come back. So this game is far from over, but that's certainly a shot in the arm to the Byrd team.
Rummel fell behind 14-0 to Scotlandville earlier in the playoffs and came back to win it after pitching a shutout in the second half and won it 17-14 with a fourth quarter comeback. The kickoff is booted into the end zone, and the automatic touchback puts Rummel on the field at the 20-yard line. Chase Forcade is at the controls. He has thrown for more yards than any sophomore in Rummel school history, 1,377 this year, 10 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 58% completion rate. He's not the flashiest of the quarterbacks, but he certainly is very efficient and very wise. Early movement on the defense. Let's see if that offensive line drew Byrd into contact.
Dead ball. Encroachment. Byrd. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
See his little movement right here. That's where the penalty came from. Moving inside, that was Zach Purcell, number 70, trying to get a jump on the ball, trying to time it out. Talk about Forcade a little bit, Len. He's not only can hurt you with his arm, he's got a healthy average, over 7 yards per carry as a foot soldier.
Thomas Archer in motion, and we've got another penalty marker down, which negates the play.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
Well, you see number 63, Joe Oliver, from his right guard position. He was going to pull, just tried to get a little jump and a little antsy. A lot of that going on this early in the game. Just a lot of time left to play to shake out the nervousness a little bit.
Forcade hands it off to Keith Fulton, and Fulton drives to the 25. Let's look at our State Farm starting lineups for the Rummel Raiders. Andrew Walters is the left tackle, Ryan Hanley, Joe Runnebaum, Joe Oliver, and Pierce Bonk. The backs and receivers, Keith Fulton, Thomas Archer is the fullback, Steve Dunbar the wide receiver, Damien Jean-Pierre, and the tight end is Caron Castillo. And we'll also see a whole lot of Ivan Phipps in the game as well. He actually is the leading rusher for Rummel this year because Fulton went down at midseason with an injury. Here's the inside handoff to Keith Fulton, and he comes on the counter across the 30 to the 31. He's tackled by the weak safety, Nick Pratt, a 180-pound senior. Our State Farm defense for Byrd lines up this way. Chandler Nance, Aaron Holloway, Zach Powell, and Mike Taylor up front. The linebackers are Andrew Crow, Christian Cash, and Dayton Johnson. Don Taylor, Nick Pratt, Hayden Ellison, and Kenry Sneed are in the secondary. 1st and 10, Rummel. Rummel will run and run and run again. Here's Ivan Phipps with the carry, 1,108 yards. Crow, the linebacker, made the stop. Andrew Crow, a 6 foot, 185-pound senior.
Crow's not a big guy, as you said, 6 foot, 185. Was a defensive end, undersized, moved the linebacker, found a spot, and he's got 36 tackles, 5 tackles for loss. He's done a good job for Byrd.
Here is Phipps again on the cutback. He spins. He works his way to the secondary. Does he have enough speed to make it down the sideline? He's run out of bounds near the 34-yard line. Ivan Phipps, a water bug back, 5'5", 165-pound senior.
He does a little pirouette as he gets hit. You see he does a little spin move right here. And a good block by Ashante Wheatley. Look, downfield, number 86. He is just mirroring that defensive back and allows him to get downfield. But this was a Gene Kelly move, for those who remember Gene Kelly dancing. Anyway, what a good move. He spins out of there. He's hitting stride. He's at full speed as he hits the edge.
The result is a 36-yard gain. Forcade throws for the first time. He finds Stephen Dunbar. Dunbar makes a man miss. Dunbar down to the 5-yard line. Dunbar is committed to the University of Houston. He also is an outstanding basketball player, and that is his 46th catch.
And this is Coronas Castillo. Did a good job of blocking. Look right there, just to get in his way. You don't have to knock the guy down, allowing Dunbar to scoot up the sidelines for a nice gain, getting down to the 3-yard line. And Dunbar is a guy who works extremely hard. He's got the keys to the weight room. He locks up every day. He's a guy who sweats and pays the toll. He really knows what it takes to be a winner.
Hayden Ellison saved a touchdown. Rummel is inside the Coke Zero red zone. This is Fulton on the direct snap. Bounces outside and dragged down at the 3-yard line. It appeared that he had enough room to take it to the corner of the end zone, but Nick Pratt caught up with him.
Nick Pratt from his weak safety position kept his shoulders squared, and Keith Foolsey's just looking for a spot. Look, that's just good defensive play by Pratt. Certainly saves a touchdown, and he's got 54 tackles with that one on the season. Did a great job. 5'9", 188-pound senior.
2nd and goal from the 3-yard line. Byrd leads 6-0 on a long dash to the end zone with its opening possession by Dominic Haggerty. Here is Phipps. Phipps does not get there. They mark him at the 1, perhaps between the 1 and the 2. Actually, they're going to put it on the 2-yard line.
Penetration coming from number 34, the safety outside linebacker, Dayton Johnson. Got good penetration and did not allow Phipps to get a good head of steam and tackle him shy of the end zone, about a yard gain on that play.
3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. Forcade is under center this time. Fulton, left side. Touchdown. Keith Fulton scores for the 6th time on the ground.
And Fulton just had a will to get into the end zone. As you can see, he was stopped shy, and he just hit at the goal line, but just his momentum carried him forward. You can see he's really stopped about right here, Lynn, and he just continues to fight and move forward into the end zone. But that was great effort. Good leg drive by Fulton.
And now the extra point is up, and it is good. So that extra point gives Rummel a 7-6 lead. Both teams have scored with their opening possession. 7:16 remains in the first quarter. This is the Division I championship game. Keith Fulton got to the end zone. Stephen Dunbar put him in position to score. We've had excitement early. 7:16 remains in the first quarter. Byrd scored first and missed the extra point. Rummel has come back to take the lead. Our Baden scoring drive, 8 plays, 80 yards. It covered 3 minutes and 25 seconds. And Keith Fulton scored from 2 yards away. The kickoff is short, and it is recovered by Rummel. That one popped up, and Jordan Powell was able to run under it. There is a penalty marker down.
We'll see.
I beg your pardon. Making that reception was Christian Fulton.
We'll see if Rummel retains the ball. May not.
Kick catch interference. A kicking team. 15-yard penalty.
So an interference with the ability or the opportunity to catch the ball.
It looks like right here would have to be it. That would have to be the interference, interfering with the ability to catch the ball. You see there's a collision right here. And that was before the ball came down, so that was where they spotted interference.
It looked like Marcellus Lewis was bumped in the vicinity of where he could have perhaps made the reception of the pop-up kick. So illegal contact will take away the successful onside kick, and the ball will be placed at the Rummel 43-yard line.
Well, you know, that's a double shot there. Not only you lose the ball, but to now they move it closer to your goal line, and that was a big chance they took, and had it not been for the contact, Rummel would have the ball right now. But now they shrink the field for the Yellowjackets. You know, Tyler Howard, quarterback for Byrd, averages over 5 yards per carry, 566 yards, 56% of his tosses find their mark, 7 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, but he runs that running attack of Byrd.
Lewis Mills again on the dive play, gains a yard or 2. That's the one that sets it all up. Mills was a linebacker last year. He's had a shoulder problem this season, but it hasn't stopped him from rushing for 928 yards and 16 touchdowns. And he has averaged a healthy 7.4 yards per carry.
You know, he only had 152 yards last year, Len, in spot duty. But this year he's had some big games. He's been a difference maker. The defense must know where he is.
Tyler Howard keeps it and crosses the 40 to the 39, but that will be about 5 yards short of a first down, maybe closer to 6.
Captain of the team, 2-time All-District defensive end Matthew Kennedy making his 75th tackle for the Rummel Raiders, shy of a first down. 3rd and 6 to go for Byrd.
Matt Kennedy is the 3rd leading tackler for Rummel with 74 and a 3-year letter winner.
His dad was an all-Metro performer. He had 2 uncles, a dad, and an older brother precede him at Rummel.
Howard rolls, but this play will be stopped before it can progress. That generally is a penalty against the offense.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. 5-yard. 3rd down.
Both of these teams over the course of the season have been very fundamentally strong. Penalties are pretty rare against both Byrd and Rummel. But the 5 yards costs Rummel some valuable yardage. It's now 3rd and 11. Or I should say Byrd, as Rummel digs in defensively in a much more advantageous position. Howard sends a man in motion and then gives on the misdirection play to Tyson Hardman, and he's knocked down very quickly by Michael Mosley.
Michael Mosley, an all-district basketball player, crashes in from his Sam position, making his 82nd tackle, and this is the way you play weak side. He's also assisted by Herman Thomas from his right defensive end, and those two collaborated on a tackle for the Raiders.
So Byrd unable to take advantage of field position following the penalty. And Andrew Suggs will punt it to Andre Tolliver. Tolliver is waiting at his 10-yard line. Now Byrd in very short punt formation. Suggs rolls right, throws back. He's got a receiver. It's caught at the 30. And he's wrestled down near the 6-yard line.
That was a gutsy call there, Lynn, and just a throwback, and Rummel wasn't expecting it.
Kirkland McCullough was on the receiving end.
And that was a pass. They're lucky from a Rummel standpoint they didn't score, but that was an outstanding attempt and a nice design play by Byrd on a 4th down, a very gutsy call, and boy, it paid dividends because now Byrd has the ball at the 6-yard line of the Rummel Raiders.
Brandon Phillips prevented a touchdown. Byrd has entered the Coke Zero red zone. 1st and goal, back to the ground, back to Lewis Mills. Fumble at the end of the play. And it appears to be Rummel's football. It is.
Wow. And Mills may have coughed it up as Matt Kennedy had a hold of him. Just a host of players, and that was number 3. Just trying to loose Deshaun Moses, the middle linebacker, is the one that pried the ball loose out of the grasp of Lewis Mills. As you see right here, you see his hand as he pried the ball loose right there, ripping the ball from Mills' hand. And Matthew Kennedy jumped on it for the Raiders.
So Matt Kennedy at the edge of the pile saw that ball squirt toward him and managed to cover it up. So a quick change of fortunes for both teams.
Wow. After a great play by Byrd, gets inside the 5-yard line, or 6-yard line rather, should say. They relinquished the ball, and now Rummel is back at their own end zone, but at least they dodged a bullet there. Wow. What a...
Keith Fulton not able to move the pile forward. They'll mark this one basically at the line of scrimmage. Fulton was a 1,400-yard rusher in 2012. He suffered a broken foot in week 5 of the season. That put him on the shelf for a while, but Ivan Phipps came on like a locomotive to replace him.
Yeah, and you know, and Fulton, 23 career touchdowns. He is a touchdown waiting to happen. He can play so many positions, Lynn, as we said, wide receiver slot and in the backfield.
Phipps is the lone running back. He'll take it. Wrapped up, they throw him down in the end zone. They may give him forward progress to the 1, maybe the 2, and they do. But a terrific defensive play turned in by Mike Taylor.
Mike Taylor had 8 tackles, 2 for loss against Lakeshore. Just shoots in like he shot out of a cannon and grabs around the shoulder pad so he can't go any further. But look, what great pursuit. He made a beeline. Mike Taylor making the stop at the goal line, and the Rummel Raiders are lucky they get hit for the safety.
Mike Taylor, a 6', 215-pound junior. And that was an extraordinary play at the line of scrimmage. Here is Keith Fulton, tries to bounce outside, finds a little bit of room, but he's taken down near the 7-yard line. Dayton Johnson, the strong side safety, came up to apply defensive pressure.
Rummel now facing a 4th down situation, and they'll talk about it. They'll have to punt the ball away, but they dodged a bullet on that last series when Lewis Mills coughed it up for Byrd.
Jordan Powell and Wyatt Broom are back to receive the punt for Byrd.
Byrd figures he get good field position, Lynn, out of this exchange.
Enrique Carrasquero will punt it, and he gets rid of it. It is caught and juggled and fumbled out of bounds on the sideline. Byrd retains control, and they will start this drive at the 33-yard line. Enjoy the skyline of the Big Easy. Archbishop Rummel 7, C.E. Byrd 6 with 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. After a net punt of 25 yards, Byrd, trailing by a point, has a first down at the Rummel 32-yard line. And Coach Mike Suggs, who's in his 16th season, has to like this starting position for the Yellowjackets.
You know, Mike Suggs was an all-state wide receiver at Southwood. He played at Northeast Louisiana under Pat Collins. His teammates were Bubby Bristol and John Holman. Then he coached a little bit, tight ends there after his playing days.
Back to the option offense. The quarterback keeps it, and Tyler Howard spins for a few in the middle of the pile. Herman Thomas was there for the stop on the 5'9", 162-pound junior quarterback.
I think we talked about Byrd hasn't won a state championship in 64 years. They've won 7 on Lynn, but most of them came in the 30s, 30, 31, 34, 35, 37. Last one was in 1949, and they played in the state championship in 1962, but fell short to a scrimmage.
Byrd sends a man in motion. He takes the pitch, and Rummel saw that coming. Nowhere to run as Dwayne Eugene.
Commitment to Arkansas. This is about as good as you can play on a run. He fights off the block. Look at this, and makes the tackle. That is about as good. That's a picture book as he takes on the blocker, disposes him, and makes the tackle. Dwayne Eugene, 6'1", 215, committed to Arkansas. 4.55 speed. He's a 3-year letterman and a good player.
The sophomore wingback Tyson Hardman was taken down for a loss. 3rd and 11. Haggerty in motion. Howard looked like he had trouble holding onto the football as he was winding up to deliver, and he is overwhelmed. The charge led by Briston Guidry.
Briston Guidry is 9.5 sack on the season, just a sophomore, but he has come a long way, number 96. 6'2", 260, he's going to be a good one, Lynn. Gets a good jump on the ball right here. You see, he comes off the block. Great attitude, and Briston Guidry, he's already being some interest from Nebraska, Alabama, LSU, Arkansas, and Auburn. Just a sophomore. He's going to be a special player.
So now Byrd has a choice to make. It's at the 39-yard line. It's 4th and about 18 to go. And we have come to the end of the first period. Byrd scored first. It was Haggerty dashing to the end zone. And then the short run to the end zone by Fulton, 7-6 Rummel.
Protection of the environment and minimizing cost to our clients through our products that include containment burners, vacuum trucks, wireline services, water tanks, construction services. Response. We provide the amenities needed for our clients with one point of contact. JC Fidel. Safety, integrity, and service.
We'll be ready. Values that last a lifetime. We need to focus on support high school sports and activities.
We get set for the start of the second quarter. Rummel leads by a scant point. Andrew Suggs, the punter, has come to the field. Andre Tolliver is back to receive it inside the 10-yard line. Suggs has only kicked 15 times this year. 35.7 is his average. And he hits a nice one, angling it to the right side. And it clears into the end zone for the automatic touchback. So he struck it too well. The ball will come back out to the 20. And let's go down to Chad Savity on the Rummel sideline. Chad?
Hey guys, if you take a close look at the Rummel helmets, you'll notice the traditional R logo is only on one side, and that dates back to this season in early October. Rummel dropped a heartbreaker to Dutchtown, a game they led 21-0. Coach Jay Roth stripped the players' helmets off the logo entirely and said they would not get it back until they started playing with pride and the Rummel tradition and fervor. And that finally came in November against Holy Cross, a Catholic League rival. They knocked off the Tigers, got one of the R's back, but here we are in the state title game, and clearly Rummel still has something to prove. Let's go back up to you.
Forcade hands it off to Keith Fulton on the quick draw, and he finds some running room for 6 or 7. The backstory of that is, Renee, certainly Coach Roth was happy enough with play in the second half of the season to put both R's back on the helmet, but he didn't have the money to do so. He said, we'll have to wait until 2014, but maybe, he said, if they win the state championship, they'll be able to dig up the $300 or more that are needed to put the second R back on the Rummel helmet.
I think Jay wanted something to drive, something to strive for. I don't think it's about the money. He just wants to keep that burning in their belly, keep them going, that motivation, if you will. Because after they beat St. Augustine, they could have got that other R back. He just wants to keep that burning inside.
Dayton Johnson drags down Ivan Phipps, and this is a fine defensive play.
Wow, he smelled it out in an outstanding play by defensive back, making a play, and good look at him right there. Dayton Johnson plays that strong safety outside linebacker, and that's his 35th tackle this season. He's all plays sideline to sideline. He is a hybrid kind of guy.
Phipps has 32 yards on 5 carries. Forcade back, throws the screen, finds a receiver on the left side. And that is Phipps, who is taken down by Nick Pratt, but that screen pass was beautifully established. You know, and it's good enough for a first down.
He's not as fast as Darren Sproles, but he's got the same size, and he's strong, and he's hard to find. You see, Phipps is 5'5", but boy, he packs a wallop, and he's very easy. He evaporates, man. He's kind of so quick, got that quick move, and gets out into space, and very difficult to tackle in the open.
That pass is good for 16 yards and a first down at the 40. Rummel leads by a point early in the second quarter. Forcade calling for the football. Throws it out, intercepted. This one going to the end zone. Kirkland McCulloch with a sensational play in space as he anticipated that pass to the right side and was there for the touchdown on the interception.
That's his third pick of the season, his first for a score, and he just smelled that out. There was trips on the right, and he just knew that was coming. He gets a jump on the ball. There's 3 receivers on the outside, and as you throw, look, he makes a break, and he steps right in front of the intended receiver, and he's clear sailing. He's got a head of steam ahead of him. Wow, what a great play by Kirkland McCulloch, a 5'11", 182-pound senior.
A 35-yard interception return for a touchdown, and you cannot play the secondary any better than that.
Well, what a great break on the ball. He just watched the quarterback and just anticipation, good instincts.
Jake Weiss, and this kick is very low. It was deflected at the line of scrimmage. The extra point fails. So Byrd is 0 for 2 in point after touchdowns. But the Yellowjackets have a 12-7 lead, courtesy of Kirkland McCulloch. Ten minutes and 29 seconds remain in the first half. Byrd scored first. Rummel came back to take a 7-6 lead. And Byrd on an interception return for a touchdown by Kirkland McCulloch has regained the lead. Both extra points have failed for the Yellowjackets. The kickoff is grabbed at the 1. And there is running room of sorts out to about the 26-yard line. Let's check in with Aaron Cofield. Aaron?
Well, guys, Byrd is a public school. They're a magnet school, which is why they're in the division rather than the Class 5A. But I tell you what, the folks in Shreveport are so excited to be down here. It is the first time since 1973 a public school from that area has played in the Superdome, the first time since 1981. And this student section has been going wild. This entire game, 28 buses of students came down here. They've really been elevating this team and getting everybody pumped up for this game.
That's what championship football is all about. It's not just for the players on the field as Phipps runs to the right side, turns upfield, crosses the 32, out to the 34 perhaps, and the little fellow can sneak upfield very quickly.
Yeah, he plants that foot and cuts upfield. It looks like he's favoring that leg right now. Good block on the edge by Keith Fulton, allowed him to plant that foot and cut upfield for a nice gain of 8 yards, call it 2nd and 2. And you know, Rummel is not going to wow you or anything, but they'll move methodically down the field and use their running backs, Fulton and Phipps. And don't be surprised you see 4K to run. He's not opposed to running as well.
6 carries for 40 yards for Phipps. 4K back, throws the screen out to the right side, and Byrd is there.
That was Christian Cash and Zach Purcell. Just smell that tunnel screen as he was coming back, as they just really, they had his number and did a great job. Purcell peeling out his defensive tackle position, 6'1", 225 senior, great job.
Stephen Dunbar had no chance to turn upfield. He's the leading receiver by far for Rummel with 45 catches coming into the game.
He's a Houston commit as well.
And the Raiders call a timeout. 8:59 remains in the first half. Byrd 12, Rummel 7. In a topsy-turvy game to this point. Both of Byrd's extra points have failed. Let's look at the path that Rummel followed to get to the Dome for the 2nd straight year. This was the Class 5A champion in 2012. Archbishop Rummel had a bye in the first round, came from a 14-point deficit to defeat Scotlandville 17-14, and then in one of the thrillers in the Catholic League, St. Augustine, which was favored in that game, fell to Rummel 31-28 with some dramatics at the end.
Yeah, and that was a team, that St. Augustine team, is everyone thought they would be here representing that division, and certainly Rummel outplayed it, but Byrd had no easy trip as well.
Byrd had a first-round bye. It beat Shaw 24-0, and then barely scraped by last week to get to the championship. Fourcade scrambling, and he's got a first down as he crosses the 40, and they're going to mark him out of bounds right at the 40-yard line. Last week, Byrd beat Holy Cross 14-10. Holy Cross, the number 6 seed.
Chase Fourcade calls his own number and is not opposed to scrambling, as he is tackled hard out of bounds by Cash, and not before he gained first down territory. Good look at Chase Fourcade. You know, John, his uncle, wore number 11, 12, and number 1. His dad, number 10 at Ole Miss. He wanted his own identity, so he chose number 19, and he represents that number pretty well.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line. Fourcade hands off to Phipps. Ivan plows ahead for about 3. They may give him 4 out to the 44.
You know, to follow up on that on Chase Fourcade, Len, as a freshman, he was a starting catcher on a Rummel baseball team, which is an outstanding program. Hit .346 batting average, bat about 56, hole hitter. His dad, Keith, who played at Ole Miss, was drafted by the Cincinnati Reds. But the thing about Chase, he's a very aggressive catcher behind the plate, will throw you down and blocks the play. Does a great job calling baseball.
Keith Fulton makes a man miss, turns upfield, and is dragged down a couple of yards short of a first down. Fourcade became the starting quarterback in week 3. And he replaced a pretty good one at Rummel, Damian Williams, who was a freshman quarterback at Mississippi State.
And Danny Williams got some starts this year for the Bulldogs. And Chase Forcade, there was a lot of uncertainty. He beat out a senior and assumed that position, but he did a good job. There was a lot of uncertainty early in the season. He just kind of assumed that role and grabbed the baton and has done a great job.
3rd and a short 2. Rummel will get a first down and plenty more. It was Keith Fulton dancing his way into the secondary. He only needed 2, and he picks up a lot more than that.
This is extremely difficult to plant that foot and stop and go and accelerate so quickly. I don't think a person can appreciate it. That is outstanding running, Lynn. They really plan and accelerate that quickly.
Phipps has 44 yards on 7 carries, and Fulton with 38 on 9. 1st and 10 for the Raiders. Forcade fakes, throws. It's caught just beyond the line of scrimmage. And then rumbling across the 30 is Caron Castillo, a 3-year letterman who has just made his 12th catch of the season.
Yeah, watch this catch with one hand, though. Look, he just snares the ball. Bang! One hand! Wow, it looks like he's got glue on his mitt. Tulane and Louisiana Tech and Southeastern like him a lot, and I can see for good reason. 6'1", 235, great blocker, and obviously pretty good pair of mitts there.
The inside play goes for good yardage down to about the 22 as Phipps had his hands on the football. It doesn't take much for him to find a crack. He's very low to the ground at 5'5", 165 pounds. He's extraordinarily strong for his size, and he will take on all comers.
Yeah, he's got a 400-pound squat, so he's got lower balance and strength, and all district in basketball is quite an athlete, man.
Forcade hands it off. Fulton bouncing off tacklers and rumbles over the 15 to the 14-yard line before Mike Taylor, a 6', 215-pound junior, made the stop. But Rummel is in the Coke Zero red zone with a first down at the 14.
This is just area. This is zone running. This is not design holes. As you can see, Fulton and Phipps are just following their eyes, good vision, and exploding through the hole. But this is great instinctive running.
Rummel averages 306 yards of total offense per game, 186 on the ground, and 120 in the air. That's about 60 less than Byrd.
Aaron Holloway with the tackle for Byrd, and the 6'5", 226-pound senior. Good looking right there, Lynn.
Ivan Phipps perhaps lost a little bit of yardage. And again, he will lope to the sideline. Rummel sends a couple of receivers to the right side on 2nd and 11. Fulton stays in the backfield. He's standing at Forcade's left. He takes the handoff, dances, plants his foot, cuts back against the grain. The ball may have come out. The ball came out, but it is not ruled a fumble. And Rummel holds on to it at the 13-yard line.
Pierce Bond, from his right tackle position, jumped on it, but Fulton had nowhere to go as Byrd just had all the alleys, and that would have been a fumble. I would have been very surprised had Byrd not gotten that. It would have been over to the Yellowjackets, but Byrd gave Fulton nowhere to run as they filled the alleys.
3rd down and 9 from the 19. Dunbar in motion to the near side. Forcade rolling that way, looking, trying to get a block, and is run out of bounds well short of the first down, near the 10-yard line. Justin Moraine would be the field goal kicker as Nick Pratt ran the quarterback out of bounds.
Nick Pratt, who had 10 stops against Holy Cross, has another big stop, his second one this game, and he does a great job playing sideline to sideline from his weak safety position. They think he's probably the best athlete on this team.
So Justin Moraine, who has 5 field goals, will attempt it from 27 yards. It is away, and it is good. Justin Moraine adds the 3-pointer. We've got a 12-10 ball game. The Mississippi River is busy as always. Rummel has changed the scoreboard, but still trails by a couple of points. 12-10 is the count right now. Our Baden scoring drive, 13 plays covering 64 yards, and it took more than 6 minutes before the field goal by Moraine. This kickoff dances along the sidelines and then curls to the left and out of bounds just in front of the goal line. Jay Roth has coached for 19 years at Rummel. He has missed the playoffs once.
Yeah, second ball, first on the 35, first down.
Non-district titles. You know, he's won 79% of his games. His dad, Easton Roth, coached at Rummel 4 years, 79 to 82. He won 78%, so he's got just a notch above his dad in winning percentage.
Rummel has captured 10 Catholic League championships. Byrd with a 2-point lead and the ball at the 35-yard line. Following the kickoff, which twisted out of bounds. Here is Lewis Mills. Mills came into the game with more than 900 yards rushing. He was stopped by Matt Kennedy. Mills has been held in check. He's only had 11 yards on 5 carries.
But he is capable, and he had 3 touchdowns in 3 games against Calvary, Lakeshore, and Mansfield. Not a true fullback. He's kind of a tailback kind of guy. And talked a little bit earlier about how he played linebacker. He's got that toughness. Runs between the tackles very, very well. 5'9", 205.
He has scored 16 times. The pitch goes to Haggerty. Haggerty slides up the far sideline. He's got enough for a first down before Dwayne Eugene ran him out of bounds.
Once again, they didn't hit the edge. As you know, playing defense against this option, you have to take the edge, and there was nobody there. A good attempt on the outside by Brandon Phillips, but he couldn't get there quick enough, and it didn't allow Dominic Haggerty. He did turn the corner for a first down, and Haggerty's got some quickness, 4.55 speed, and he's capable once he hits that edge.
He scored on a very long run the first time he touched the ball, and has 2 carries for 83 yards. The first one went 73 yards to the end zone. Tyler Howard again gives it to the fullback Lewis Mills. That is the establishing play in the Byrd offense.
And when you play against that triple option, that veer type attack, it makes you play responsible defense. You can't play freelance and chase anybody down because the ball may be coming back in your area. It makes you guard the play your gap control, hit the edge, cover. So it really makes you play a lot more fundamental defense.
Byrd has had 53 rushing touchdowns this season, averaging 6.4 yards per attempt, 303 yards on average per game rushing for Byrd. And here's some of the strength that we have talked about, demonstrated now by Lewis Mills, that 5'9", 204-pound fire plug fullback.
And he gets under his pads. Watch, he just, yards after contact, he explodes right into the middle linebacker, Delshawn Moses, who's 5'10", 225, and drives him back. He pancakes his would-be tackler. So good look at Mills right there, who's he's on the radar for a bunch of colleges, but they're not trying to find a spot for him. Will he be a linebacker, a fullback, or a tailback?
Mills crashes straight ahead again and moves the pile forward for 4 or 5. And he's starting to heat up after a slow start.
The thing is, he runs track, so he don't look like he's a fast guy, but he's very, very quick. Explosive out of the blocks. He had 92 yards against Bastrop, 142 against Calvary, 118 against Shaw earlier.
He's also had a 92-yard touchdown run this year. Here's the pitch to Haggerty. He's got the wing. He's inside the 20, and he's dragged out of the 15-yard line by Brandon Phillips.
And we talked about responsibility defense, Lynn. You have to watch the pitch man, and the dive right here, but the pitch man, no one is at home, and allows Haggerty to get to the outside, and that safety has to be responsible for the pitch guy on the outside.
And Mills draws 3 defenders.
And the thing is, you got to like the way Tyler Howard, runs that veer, that attack. He just wasted the very last instant to pitch the ball. It's a nice pitch, throws it to him in full stride, and allows Haggerty to hit the edge at full speed.
Brandon Phillips, who made the tackle, was a key running back for Rummel in 2012. Byrd gives it to Tyson Hardman. Hardman, a 5'9", 172-pound sophomore. He's got a very healthy per carry average of 8.2. He rushed for 345 yards coming into the game with 6 touchdowns. That was a gain of 2.
He had 93-yard scamper against Houghton. Tyson Hardman did, so he's a weapon as well.
Byrd is in the Coke Zero red zone. And the Yellowjackets keep pounding the football. It's Lewis Mills for some more. He was stopped by Delshawn Moses, the linebacker.
Lewis Mills with 16 touchdowns, looking for number 17, and tremendous will and drive and desire. He's got a host of white jerseys around him. Delshawn Moses and Briston Guidry, he takes for a ride inside the 5-yard line.
3rd down and a yard to go. It's the fullback again. And he is stopped 1 yard short of the end zone. Lewis Mills is starting to get lathered up out of that backfield.
Yeah, he's running between the guards, and credit great blocking on the right side. Jamaris Fitzpatrick, the right guard, and right tackle Spencer Little are opening up some gaping holes for him to run through.
Touchdown, Byrd. Tyler Howard called his own number, and he scores for the 5th time this year on the ground.
He was right on the hip of center, number 51, Ryan Downey. Look, he's going to go right behind him. That is just good explosion off the line. Ryan Downey, not a big guy, 6 foot 195 center, but he uses good technique, good pad level, and just enough to get Tyler Howard into the end zone.
Jake Weiss strikes this one cleanly out of the hold of Tyler Howard. And the extra point for the first time tonight is good by Byrd. Our Baden scoring drive, 10 plays, 65 yards. It took just under 4 minutes to get to the end zone as the quarterback Howard scored on a 1-yard keeper.
Very fast-moving game, but exciting, Lynn. 19-10, and this has had a lot of exciting plays for two teams that run so much. There's been a lot of excitement in the first half. I wouldn't expect Byrd to really kick it, a squib kick of something with 21 ticks left. They certainly don't want. They want to be careful. They don't want to shrink the field for Rummel, but they don't want to kick it to one of their outstanding return men who could really burn them.
On the last 2 possessions, Renee, we've seen Rummel get into field goal position with a 13-play drive, and Byrd follows that with a 10-play drive to the end zone. So this ball control running attack for both sides has been what was advertised.
It's exactly what we thought. Both coaches wanted to do it, and that's exactly what you'll see in the whole second half. The first one that blinks will be the guy who loses, but you don't want to make mistakes in a game like this because it's every play counts.
Rummel has a 3-minute edge in time of possession, but trails 19-10. And the bouncing kick is fumbled for a moment at the 31 and covered up. So Rummel will have 20 seconds to work. 2 timeouts remaining for the Raiders. These teams have actually played a couple of times in their histories. Both of them have been playoff games. Byrd lost to Rummel in overtime in 2002, 21-14, and beat Rummel in 2011, 35-24. Let's see if Chase Forcade throws it. He will not. He hands to Ivan Phipps, and Phipps rips off 15, maybe 16 yards. Give it a gain of 16.
And Phipps is not getting up too quickly. I think he's favoring that leg. I don't know. He's limping a little bit. That left leg is giving him some problems. But nice run. Phipps just threw a nice hole, and he just explodes into the secondary. Tackle made near the 50-yard line, but boy, I tell you what, he's taking a pounding.
That play took 8 seconds. There are 12 seconds remaining, and Rummel has used a timeout. As you see Phipps favoring that right leg. He's been a little gimpy on a couple of trips to the sideline in the first half.
I don't know if it's cramps or if he took a hit somewhere, but he's certainly not at full speed the way you see him right there. He's getting attended to right there, and it may be cramps.
This Rummel team had 15 wins in the championship season last year. A few seasons before that, it was 14-1 in 2009, beaten by West Monroe in the Superdome for the championship. Forcade back, fires it. He's got a receiver on the run in the middle of the field. He's tackled at the 35-yard line with 4 seconds remaining, and that was Stephen Dunbar, the favorite target of Chase Forcade. Dunbar with 45 catches prior to the game.
Make it 46. He's averaging over 12 yards per grab, and this is a good grab on a slant pattern. And Dunbar headed to Houston, 6'2", 280-pound senior with a 4.0 GPA, comes up with a mega grab in that zone defense of the Yellowjackets.
This is good for 25 yards. There is time for one play from the 34-yard line.
If you're going to get it to someone, obviously, you throw it up to a Dunbar. I don't know if you get it in space to a, I don't think you have the full strength of Phipps right now. Would you throw it to a Fulton and try to isolate him out in space and see if he can get into the end zone? But right now, I would say a deep vertical throw to Dunbar may be your best bet.
Hayden Ellison and Nick Pratt are both standing at about the 5-yard line as the last line of defense for Byrd. Forcade retreats. He's getting pressured from the outside. Sets. Heaves it to the end zone. It's a jump ball, and it's incomplete. There was a mass of humanity out there with 4 defenders and a couple of receivers. And the ball fell to the surface of the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. This has been a whale of a first half. Byrd leads 19-10. Let's go down to Aaron Cofield. Aaron?
Coach, the 9-point lead going into the break. How do you carry the momentum over to the second half?
Well, we've got to come out and keep playing great defense and get stops like we did. You know, they had a great drive, and we held them to a field goal. I thought that was big. And then, you know, offensively, that was a great drive for us right there. That's what we got to have. You know, we got down here and turned the ball over on about the 2 or 3 yard line. We can't do that. We've just got to hold on to the football and keep playing like we've been playing.
What will your message to your team be?
Just keep fighting. This is it.
All right, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Well, that is succinct, but it is true. Keep fighting. This is it. Byrd has come from Shreveport, from the northwest corner of the state to the southeast corner, and leads the defending Class 5A champion Rummel Raiders 19-10 at the break. We've got a lot more coming from the Superdome.
Ladies and gentlemen, entering the field from the Hall of Fame of Louisiana, the Raider marching band. The Raider marching band is
The LHSAA State Farm Prep Classic, presented by NOLA.com and the Times-Picayune, is brought to you by State Farm, the title sponsor of the 2013 Prep Classic. By Cajun Industries, sponsor of the Prep Classic poster contest. By Baden, the Baden QB1, the official football of the LHSAA. By North Oaks Orthopedic Specialty Center, a regional healthcare partner of the LHSAA. And by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana, the card accepted by more top doctors. It's halftime at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome, and Byrd has traveled 323 miles from its location in Shreveport to come to this place to take a lead after 24 minutes. It's 19-10, Byrd leading Rummel. Erin Cofield is patrolling the floor of the Superdome, and we check in with her now. Erin?
Thanks, Lynn. I'm with Dan Wagner, who's the Director of Individual Sales for Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana. Dan, tell me about the importance of being involved in high school athletics.
Well, Blue Cross looks at, high school athletics where you can get young men and women engaged in a healthy lifestyle. As a health insurance carrier, we really don't want you, when you come into us when you have a health issue. We want to kind of be a consultant to as you continue to grow in your lifestyle to have a healthy lifestyle.
All right, and I know for you, this is a very big game. You are a former Rummel Raider. You played football and you played baseball there. How great has it been just to see in recent years the kind of resurgence of the program?
Oh, it's really nice to see, Rummel in a state championship game again. I actually had the opportunity to play with Jay Roth, the head coach of Rummel, when I was at Rummel. So, to see friends that we haven't seen for a long time tonight, a lot of reintroducing to a lot of friends and acquaintances. So it's been a good evening.
All right, thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.
Lynn?
Erin, thank you very much. Halftime activity right now on the floor of the Superdome, and Byrd, which has scored 2 offensive touchdowns and 1 on a pass that was picked off and returned to the end zone, has a 19-10 lead over the Archbishop Rummel Raiders. The LHSAA State Farm Prep Classic, presented by NOLA.com and the Times-Picayune, is brought to you by State Farm, title sponsor of the 2013 Prep Classic. By ExxonMobil and ISC, sponsors of the All-Academic Scholar Athlete Program. By Lake Charles Memorial Sports Medicine, a regional healthcare partner of the LHSAA. And by Musmek Photography, the official photographer of the LHSAA. Welcome back to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. It's been a very entertaining first half in the inaugural Division I LHSAA State Football Championship game. And C.E. Byrd out of Shreveport has a 9-point lead over the defending Class 5A champion Rummel Raiders. With Renee Nadeau, I'm Lynn Rollins. Renee, we prophesied that this might be a very entertaining game. It certainly has been. Frankly, I'm a little surprised this many points have been scored, but both teams are doing what they do best.
And both teams have seized opportunities. Mostly, Byrd has really jumped on some opportunities and made Rummel pay for it.
One of the touchdowns by Byrd came on a pick six. We'll show you that in a moment. Let's roll some highlights from the first half.
And Byrd got up quickly on a Dominic Haggerty 73-yard scamper on an option play, and it was open the game and really did a great job setting the tone for this Byrd team. Coming right back, this is Keith Fulton with a touchdown, his 6th of the season. Hard-fought touchdown, 2-yard run, brought Rummel right back into the game, but the Byrd came back with a big play. This was a fake punt that almost paid dividends for Byrd. It later was a fumble near the goal line, which Rummel took over possession and saved the touchdown. But here's a touchdown by Mills. This was a fumble right here, I'm sorry, where Mills coughed it up and Rummel jumped on the ball at the 3 or 4 yard line. Matt Kennedy with the Rummel Raiders. And this was a play that was McCullough really read the quarterback's eyes and returned it 35 yards for a touchdown. And it was a great play, a great read by defensive back McCullough for Byrd. And finally, the final touchdown by the quarterback, Tyler Howard, for a touchdown to put Byrd ahead of Rummel 19-10.
Well, let's take a look at some numbers after the first couple of quarters, Renee. Our Talkin' T-shirts first half statistics.
You see, Rummel's got an advantage in the total yards, 204 to 181, but it's what Byrd did with it. Opportunities, and again, that big interception kind of swayed things a little bit. They don't get stats for that, but the interception, 35-yard touchdown run really made a difference on the scoreboard.
Each team has had a turnover, and you might say that things evened out because one prevented perhaps a touchdown, the others caused a touchdown. We are at halftime with the score 19-10. Byrd is leading Rummel. Let's enjoy some of the action from the floor of the Superdome as we go to break at intermission.
Let's go.
Watch me as we dance under the sunlight. Listen to the people screaming on the floor. People coming back, let's go, 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 go.
Majors, Kaylin Walker, Brittany McLean, and field candidate Quandavius Bauer, presenting excerpts from their 2013 Byrd Field Show, Mechanized.
Ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to midfield for a special LHSAA presentation. Louisiana High School Athletic Association, along with ExxonMobil and ISD, are proud to recognize the 2013 Division I Academic All-State recipients. To make the presentation at midfield, Mr. David Federico, principal of Eco Classic High School and member of the LHSAA Executive Committee, accompanied by Mr. Alan Free of ExxonMobil Chalmette Refinery. The 2013 Division I Academic All-State Scholar Athlete, Mr. Peter Yeager of St. Paul's High School. Peter has completed 4 years of high school, playing the sport of football, and has maintained a perfect 4.0 GPA. Congratulations, Peter, and your future. The LHSAA thanks ExxonMobil for their support of the Scholar Athlete Program. At this time, we would like to recognize the Louisiana High School Football Coaches Association Coach of the Year in Class 5A. Coach Jay Roth began his coaching career at East Jefferson High School in 1987 and has coached at East Ascension High School, Archbishop Shaw, and Jesuit, and has been the head coach at Archbishop Rummel High School for 19 years. His teams have made the playoffs for 18 of those 19 years, having played in the state championship twice. In 2012, he led the Rummel Raiders to a perfect 14-0 season. The 2012 5A Coach of the Year, Coach Jay Roth of Rummel High School. Jay is currently in the locker room with his Rummel Raiders accepting the award. His athletic director, Phil Greco. The award is being presented by Mr. Shane Smith, head football coach at Franklin High School and president of the Louisiana High School Football Coaches Association. Congratulations to Coach Jay Roth, 2012 Louisiana High School Football Coach of the Year in 5A.
All right, Coach Jay Roth joining me now. Starting the third quarter, your team gets the ball back, facing a 9-point deficit. What do you need to do offensively to start clawing back into this game?
Well, the one mistake on the interception killed us. I mean, we haven't played that bad on offense. Just consistently, we got to go 80 yards. He's like putting hands on. We got to go 80 yards with it and make it a one-score game again.
Running back Ivan Phipps seemed to have a slight hip injury. What's his status moving forward? Can he come back?
Questionable.
All right, Coach, you know it's all about championship effort here in the second half. This is your season. What do you expect from your guys? What was the big message at the halftime break?
Well, my message was we played the first half like it was an August jamboree, but I've been in worse situations, so, you know, you got a shot.
Here it is, December. Time to finish strong.
You got it. Thank you.
Good luck, Coach.
All right.
All right, Len, let's go back up to you in the booth.
We're in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The third quarter is just moments away. Byrd with a 9-point lead over Rummel in the Division I championship game. One of the special moments surrounding these football championships is the presentation of the LHSAA ExxonMobil All-Academic Team presented to students with a 4.0 composite grade point average presented by ISC. And congratulations to Peter Yeager receiving his award. He is a quarterback at St. Paul's High School. He's had perfect grades throughout his high school career. Let's check in with Coach Jay Roth. He is with our Chad Sabity. Chad?
All right, Coach Jay Roth joining me now. Starting the third quarter, your team gets the ball back, facing a 9-point deficit. What do you need to do offensively to start clawing back into this game?
Well, the one mistake on the interception killed us. I mean, we haven't played that bad on offense. Just consistently, we got to go 80 yards. He's like putting hands on. We got to go 80 yards with it and make it a one-score game again.
Running back Ivan Phipps seemed to have a slight hip injury. What's his status moving forward? Can he come back?
Questionable.
All right, Coach, you know it's all about championship effort here in the second half. This is your season. What do you expect from your guys? What was the big message at the halftime break?
Well, my message was we played the first half like it was an August jamboree, but I've been in worse situations, so, you know, we got a shot.
Here it is, December. Time to finish strong.
You got it. Thank you.
Good luck, Coach.
All
right, Len, let's go back up to you in the booth.
Rummel will get the football first in the third quarter. It's 19-10 Byrd. Come back with us for more on Fox Sports New Orleans. Is the halftime score. The third quarter is just moments away as Archbishop Rummel, the defending Class 5A champion from 2012, takes on Byrd High School out of Shreveport, a team looking for its first state championship since 1949, playing in its first state finals game since 1962. Byrd in purple has a 9-point lead, and it's done so, Renee Nadeau, by throwing only one pass in the first half, and that came on a fourth down play out of punt formation.
What Byrd has done is convert a third down. They hit 17-yard average every time on a third down conversion, so they've been very, very fortunate and have executed when they needed to.
Jake Weiss will put it in play for the Byrd Yellowjackets. Keith Fulton has trouble with the football, and he is taken down at the 11-yard line.
Just he couldn't find the handle and started to run before he had it, and he's very fortunate that pursuit didn't get to him before he got to the ball. That would have been, wow, that would have been a tough play to see Byrd with the ball at the Rummel 10-yard line to begin the second half.
Chase Forcade has thrown it 7 times. He has completed 5 of those for 81 yards. He suffered an interception, which was returned for a touchdown by Kirkland McCullough. Forcade keeps it and is twisted off his feet by Nick Pratt. And we have called that weak safety's name a lot in the first half, Renee.
Well, we said he's probably the best athlete on his team. He's very strong physical. He covers the field, and he had 10 tackles against Holy Cross, which I said early in the first half. He just has an eye for the ball. There's He's attracted a lot of attention from Louisiana Tech, TCU, UL Monroe, and Grambling, and he'll be a chance to play weak safety at the next level as well.
Second down and long after a minimal pickup by Forcade. He'll throw. He sings it over the middle. It is caught on the run. This is Stephen Dunbar. Dunbar weaving and works his way to the end zone. It's an 86-yard touchdown hookup between Chase Forcade and Stephen Dunbar.
That was Dunbar's 5th touchdown grab of the season, and Forcade throwing his 11th touchdown. He just drops back and dials up Dunbar, runs a slant deep, and just beats the coverage in pursuit. That is Don Taylor, the cornerback, who really, he got a little distance, put a little separation between Dunbar and Taylor just couldn't close on.
Justin Moraine will attempt the extra point following the perfect strike touchdown pass, and the kick is blocked. Byrd, coming from the left side defensively, swats down the extra point.
86-yard catch by Dunbar, and he just plants his foot. He's just running a post route and just runs away from Taylor. He just puts a little separation in between he and Taylor, and he's got that afterburner speed. Dunbar with about 4.55 speed and just makes it to the end zone, closes the gap. Now it's 19-16, Byrd on top.
The Baden scoring drive is a very quick one. 2 plays for 88 yards. It took less than a minute. Stephen Dunbar was on the receiving end of a perfectly thrown pass by the sophomore quarterback Chase Forcade.
You know, Dunbar is capable of a big game. He had 6 grabs for 103 yards against Brother Martin. This one came 86 in one pop. He's off to a great start here in the second half.
Well, we heard Coach Jay Roth say that his team is just a score away from pulling within a score, and this game is tight again all of a sudden. 19-16. Extra points have been a problem tonight for both teams.
See what Dunbar's got, 4 grabs for 135 yards and a score, so this is his biggest outing of the season thus far.
So Rummel with a quick strike offense, something that you don't see a lot from the Raiders, and the kickoff is mishit. It curls out of bounds on the left side. And Byrd's going to get the ball at the 35-yard line. These officials are out of the Baton Rouge Association.
First down, 35.
Let's check in with Chad Savity. Chad, what do you have for us?
What a statement drive, touchdown scoring possession for the Raiders to close the gap in this game. Sophomore QB Chase Forcade, what a throw. Pretty interesting, guys. This week he sought counsel from last year's Rummel title-winning quarterback Damian Williams. You mentioned Williams is currently a freshman at Mississippi State. He told young Chase Forcade to just relax, have confidence in his teammates tonight, and he did exactly that with Stephen Dunbar there. Chase Forcade told Damian Williams the speed of the game is really slowed down. This Rummel team has really come together, and behind Chase Forcade's strong arm, guys, the Rummel Raiders are back in this game.
This Rummel team is not known for a passing attack, but certainly Forcade threw a dart into the belly of his big wide receiver. Tyson Hardman dragged down on the first play from scrimmage from Byrd here in the third quarter, a loss of 1.
That was a play that Byrd has really capitalized on this whole first half, and Rummel was up to a challenge that last play.
Howard keeps it and leans ahead to the 39-yard line, but it will bring up 3rd and 6 as Delshon Moses, the linebacker, was there for the stop. He was a starting defensive end last season, who has been moved to linebacker, a 5'10", 215-pound senior. He is the 4th leading tackler.
Tyler Howard's experiencing some problems right now. The junior signal caller, first-year starter, is having a little problems right now.
Deuce Caston is the backup quarterback.
You see he took a shot, kind of bit the turf a little bit, and not sure if he may have knocked himself, that his head may have hit the ground pretty hard.
Well,
right
Byrd,
here, wow, yes.
Byrd takes a timeout to allow more recovery time for Tyler Howard. And we'll step aside as well. 9:46 remains in the third quarter. We've got a 19-16 game, Byrd by 3.
JC Benel Energy Services is devoted to professional service and unwavering commitment to safety, protection of the environment, and minimizing cost to our clients through our products that include containment burners, vacuum trucks, wireline services, pipe tanks, gas busters, construction services, and 24-hour emergency response. We provide the abilities.
From America's #1 pregame show comes the all-new Fox Football Daily, featuring an all-star lineup of experts and NFL legends. Get everything you love on Sunday, every day of the week. Fox Football Daily, weeknights at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on America's new sports network, Fox Sports 1. Byrd on the attack, 2 out of 4 in third down conversions, now 3 out of 5 as Hardman finds running room to the far sideline and is finally run out of bounds by Brandon Phillips.
And again, they convert. They're averaging 17 yards per third down conversion. And again, Hardman makes him pay on the outside, on the edge. Rummel does not get there in time to take the pitch man, and Hardman makes him pay for it.
And that 17-yard average is going to rise because that was a 28-yard burst.
And Hardman's not a big guy, Lynn. 5'9", 172, got pretty good speed, 4'6", but he's running at full speed once he gets the pitch from Howard, and he turns the corner pretty quickly.
Byrd is 3 for 5 now in third down conversions. Here is the fullback, Lewis Mills, and he leans forward for a couple of very tough yards. Mills got off to a slow start, and then he started heating up in the second quarter, and that inside power game established some of the other aspects of the running game in the Byrd offense.
And the thing about Mills, man, is he's faster than he looks. He looks like just a power guy between tackles. He hits that second level. He's a sub 4.5 40 guy. They call him Mad Dog McGraw, which makes you think he's just a tough guy, but he's got some quickness about him as well.
5'9" and 204 pounds. Mills on the misdirection is dragged down at the line of scrimmage. Rummel played that one very well with Matt Kennedy pinching down to lead the charge.
The captain, a two-time All-District performer, Matt Kennedy, crashes in from the outside and makes a big tackle. He was on part of that Rummel state championship team last year and returned for his senior year and has really led this defense.
He is a 3-year letterman and has been one of the better defensive players for Rummel. Third and long. Here's the pitch, and it's on the floor of the Superdome. It is recovered by Rummel. Brandon Phillips is on the loose football.
Well,
they may rule that a forward pass.
Well, we'll see exactly where Tyler Howard is. Is it a... It is, wow, that is really, really close. It looks like it was right on the line. Not sure if it was a forward lateral, but we'll see. That is really, really close from that angle. We couldn't really judge if it was a forward pass, and it does look like they're going to maintain possession.
Well, the running back may have been behind the quarterback, but the pass
is forward.
Was forward. So the officials got that one right, and that's a very difficult play, very difficult judgment on the fly, but the officials appeared to have it absolutely correct. This group out of the Baton Rouge Association.
And that was certainly had a big turnaround right there. Had Rummel got possession, they were about 30 yards up the field, so that made a big, big difference where they are right now and where they could have been. Fourth down now.
Fourth down from the 31-yard line. And this is 4-down territory for Byrd. It is 10 of 21 and fourth down tries this year. Howard retreats, throws it back. It's caught by Hardman. He's got a first down, it appears. That was a throwback to the weak side, and Hardman on the receiving end got just enough to extend the drive.
Hardman made a sixth catch, and this was a big one. He was kind of in isolation a little bit, and no one paid much attention to him defensively. But you see Hardman is out here, and this just comes across the field right there, and they didn't stay with him. That linebacker, Michael Mosley, didn't really stay with him and allowed him a little space to collect the pass and get beyond first down yardage.
3-year letterman Dwayne Eugene made the stop. It's a first down for Byrd, and back to Lewis Mills on the fullback dive play. He grinds his way for perhaps 3.
Good look right there at Herman Thomas, who is probably a senior class president. Very intelligent guy, loves soccer, and pound for pound, Jay Roth said he may be the strongest on the team. 5'10", 190 senior defensive end.
Thomas is the senior class president, known for his leadership around the school, respected by his classmates. Mills, 13 carries, 44 tough yards. This is Dominic Haggerty, who had a long touchdown run on the first Byrd possession. Michael Mosley, who is the #1 tackler for Rummel, made the stop. Mosley is an all-district performer, but Byrd is in the Coca-Cola Zero red zone.
Mosley also excels at basketball. He's got a nose for the ball. He came into this game with 81 stops, and that was a big one there because if Haggerty gets in the open, Lynn, he's clear sailing, as evidence early in the game.
He's got 108 yards on just 4 carries, but 73 of those came on the first opportunity. And this time, Rummel is there. Christian Fulton came from the secondary and knocked down Haggerty for a loss of 7.
He's only a sophomore, but he's got a bunch of offers already, and this is why he comes up great penetration from his cornerback position, and a 6', 165-pounder makes a great tackle in the backfield and pushes Byrd back. 4th down now, a long way to go. Well, he's got offers from Louisiana Tech and Nebraska USC, and we'll watch him from the field goal attempt.
Jake Weiss will attempt this one from 41 yards. The kick is away. It is accurate, and it is good. Jake Weiss, whose previous longest field goal was 29 yards, knocks one through from 41.
That had room to spare. Boy, he really got a leg into that one.
Number 57 adds 3. It's a 22-16 Byrd lead. It's 22-16 now as these teams keep coming at each other. Byrd leading. The latest scoring drive presented by Bodden, 11 plays, 41 yards. It took more than 5 minutes, and Jake Weiss connected on a 41-yard field goal. He's now 3 for 5, making 3 for 6 on the year, and that was his longest by 12 yards. And he rips this one into the end zone for the automatic touchback.
Weiss has some leg strength. Let me tell you, he hit that 41-yarder with about 10 yards to spare. He could hit that from 50 pretty easily.
So Rummel gets 6 and then gives up 3. 5:54 remains in the third quarter. 22-16. It was 19-10 at halftime with Byrd holding the advantage.
Haven't seen as much of Phipps as Coach Jay Roth. Not sure of how strong he's going to be the second half. He's favoring that leg, and to see if he'll come back here in the third quarter.
Forcade fakes and then fires a dart into the belly of Costello, and he is rumbling his way to midfield. The tight end had 11 catches coming into the game, and that's good for 27.
He's got a great pair of mitts, and he may not be the prettiest receiver, but boy, he's efficient. 6'1", 235, hit that one-handed snare early in the second quarter, and he's got a couple looks from colleges as well, and he's a great blocker and a very, very efficient receiver.
Well, he replaced Kelty and Carter, a starter with Nebraska, a 3-year letterman. Castillo. Out to Dunbar it goes. He makes a man miss and weaves his way for 9 or so. That'll be close to a first down.
Flag on a play. We'll see how this affects where the ball will land.
Christian Cash made the stop.
Fire the snap. An illegal procedure. Not enough men on the line in the offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
That is a very damaging penalty to Rummel, and Jay Roth was not happy over some of the mistakes that he said were more suited to a jamboree game in August than a state championship game.
Yeah, I mean, you take away some of the cushion sitting on both sides of the ball, but that onside kick, that may cost him with a penalty. This play here, and you keep shooting yourself in the foot, and it comes back to haunt you. Right now, Byrd leads by 6 points, but it's a lot of football yet to be played. 5 minutes and some change here in the third quarter, but both teams are hitting stride right now.
First and 15. Forcade going to the air with great frequency now. Finds that receiver again. Castillo. Cash made the stop. That's good for 13 yards. He came up 2 strides shy of the first down.
And the thing is, Castillo, this is his 3rd grab. He came into the game with 11 catches, but he's very efficient. 11.6 yards per catch. So he's a guy that can really help this offense.
55 yards on 3 catches for the tight end. Dunbar moves from the right side of the formation to the slot on the left side.
Right,
it appears we've got a timeout or a flag drop.
Dead ball. False start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Feet. Sit down.
Pierce Bonk may have moved early on the right side.
Yeah, he set up the pass block and didn't hit a snap count, and that's going to cost him 5 yards.
Bonk has been a very versatile offensive lineman. He's played center, he's played guard, he's played tackle. He's a 2-year starter who's had some ankle problems this year.
He's a National Honor Society guy, 3.5 grade point average. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
Second down, Fulton weaving his way. And he is very close to a first down. That play didn't look like it had a whole lot in front of it, but Fulton kept those pinions pumping.
Oh, I tell you what, he had a lot of drive and a lot of determination. He just would not be denied. Look how he keeps pumping those legs all the way to the ground. First down. It wouldn't be for that extra second and third effort. It would have been short of the first down marker.
Mike Taylor was hanging on and will get credit for the stop. But Keith Fulton, the 5'11", 165-pound dynamo, got the first down. Forcade hands to Fulton again. And he slips forward for about 3 or 4.
Nice play by Kendry Sneed coming up from his cornerback position. Had 6 stops against Houghton and a big tackle there, not allowing Fulton to hit the outside in the open. I'm impressed with the way these defensive secondaries for Byrd play. Sneed and McCullough bringing that touchdown back. And wow, Dillon, Dayton, Johnson, they really got a great secondary.
Forcade has thrown the ball 10 times. He's completed 8 of those. Add another one out into the flat. Dunbar makes a man miss and is bumped down after a gain of about 3. But Forcade now 9 of 11 for more than 200 yards.
The more spinning in a washing machine. Look, hits one here, bounces off a cushions of a pool table and keeps on going. And McCullough didn't wrap him up. Kirkland McCullough had a first shot at him, but didn't wrap him up and fell short of a first down. It's now 3rd and 3, and big play here offensively and defensively for the Yellowjackets.
And you have to believe this is 4-down territory for the Raiders. Forcade has thrown for 210 yards on 9 completions. He keeps it after the fake and drives his way to the 35. That's going to be short of a first down.
Listen to this collision right here, Lynn.
I winced when I heard it.
Not for the faint of heart. Big play here, because if Rummel does not make it, they shrink the field for the Yellow Jacket offense and will give the ball back to him wherever it may be. Could be at the 34-yard line where the ball is placed right now. But it will really shrink the field for the Byrd Yellow Jacket offense.
Joel Runnebohm leads his team to the line of scrimmage. He will snap it to Chase Forkade, who is under center. And Rummel will take a timeout to assess this critical 4th and 1. 1:29 remains in the third quarter. Byrd has led throughout much of this game and holds a 22-16 advantage right now. The sports and highlights show you've been waiting for is here. Fox Sports Live, as Jay Onright and Dan O'Toole are joined by Donovan McNabb, Gary Payton, Andy Roddick, and Carissa Thompson to bring you everything you need to know and want to know about the world of sports. Fox Sports Live airs nightly on Fox Sports 1.
You know, what you do here is you talk to your offensive lineman. That's what the coach is doing. How bad do you want it? Talks to Bonk and Oliver, Runnebohm, Hanley, and Walters. Can you get us that first down?
That man in the middle of your picture you just saw, Jay Roth, has coached Rummel to 6 undefeated regular seasons. And he was a quarterback on the first undefeated Rummel team in 1980.
He was a team captain and all-district performer in 1980 on a quarterback, and went to play at Nichols State in college.
4th down and a yard to go. Fulton is very deep in the backfield. He gets a running start. He's hit. He leans. And I don't think he's got it.
I don't think so either. Great penetration by Christian Cash, and a look right there at
Hayden Ellison was also involved in that play, and Jay Roth, I think right now realizes his team did not get the necessary yardage.
That was just great desire by the Byrd defensive secondary. Hayden Ellison, as you say, came up and really made a big hit right here, along with linebacker Cash. And he just took him on right. That was just great tackling, and he opened by Hayden Ellison. He was the reason why that play did not go for a first down. Just attacks and good penetration in the backfield. Hayden Ellison with his 40th tackle of the season.
So the Byrd Yellowjackets, who shut out Archbishop Shaw, the number 10 seed, 24-0. And then gave up 10 points to Holy Cross in the semifinal game, winning 14-10. Managed to stop the Rummel attack, and now Lewis Mills is rumbling for Byrd. Michael Mosley brought him down, but not until a gain of, let's call it 8.
It shows what kind of balance he has, Lynn. He took a couple of shots, knocked off a couple of would-be tacklers, and fell forward. That's an 8-yard gain.
Renee, I'm going to give you an eye-popping statistic in just a moment as we close out the third quarter with less than a minute to go. Howard back, fires, almost intercepted, and it falls incomplete.
Adam Odung, the linebacker, dropped into pass coverage and almost had his first interception and popped out of his hands, and it'll be 3rd down for the Byrd Yellowjackets.
Adam Odung is a basketball player, and he was hoping he would grab that rebound, but it slipped out of his hands. That would have been a critical turnover to give Rummel the ball with 42 seconds left in the third quarter. Third down, and fairly short. And it's Mills, and he is taken down, and it appears that he did not get it.
Way up offense.
Byrd, 4th and 1, will go for it. There was a pileup at the line of scrimmage on the quarterback sneak, and Rummel is claiming it has denied the charge.
We'll see. It's going to be a very, very close call. Very close.
What a gamble by Byrd at its own 43-yard line. And I do not think they've got enough.
From this perspective, Lynn, it looks like they may be a half a ball shy, the length of half a football shy.
Here come the chains, and I think Rummel is going to have reason to celebrate.
See, they tried to get a quick snap here and try to run through the A gap between the guard and the center, and Rummel was ready for the snap and not sure if he made it. Short.
The Rummel Raiders hold on 4th down. 15 seconds are left in this third quarter.
Well, I said a half a football short, maybe a little longer than that, Lynn. There's ebbs and flows in this game. Wow. Big plays, exciting plays. This has been not for the faint of heart. This has been an exciting game to watch.
Or the brittle of bone.
Wow.
Coach Mike Suggs rolled the dice and did not win. 1st and 10. Rummel at the 44. Forcade looking. Can't do anything with it. And that's a loss of 1.
Yeah, no one to
we
throw
come
to.
to the end of the third period. Byrd has a 22-16 lead. There are 12 minutes separating one of these teams from the Division I LHSAA State Football Championship. One quarter of football remains, and Byrd of Shreveport leads Rummel of Metairie 22-16 as we head to the fourth quarter. Mike Suggs, 105 times in his career at Byrd, has carried a lead into the fourth period, and he has surrendered that lead only 3 times. He is 102-3 in 16 seasons after leading after 3 quarters.
That is unbelievable.
And one of those 3 losses came this year when he gave up a fourth quarter lead.
Pretty healthy average there.
3rd down for Rummel. Forcade retreats, throws a timing pattern. It's caught by Dunbar, but he's swung down before he can lean and get a first down. Kirkland McCulloch, who already has returned an interception for a touchdown, slung Stephen Dunbar down prior to the 34-yard line. It'll be 4th and 1.
Kirkland McCulloch, who just moved from safety to cornerback and just came from Georgia, moved back to town again, makes a great open field stop, would not let go of Dunbar until the cavalry arrived, and that was Hayden Ellison assisting on a tackle. This is 4th and short, a must-have. This is a big, big test for the defense as well.
Forcade will take it from shotgun formation. He fakes. He runs into his own man. He leans as he goes down, and it looks like he's got a first down. Ivan Phipps had returned to the lineup for the first time in this half on that play. He had been hobbled with a hip injury in the first half. It is a first down, and Chase Forcade just managed to lean forward enough.
This has been a grind-out kind of game, and everything comes down to 3rd down. A lot of big plays on 3rd down. Byrd has made some outstanding plays, including a touchdown on 3rd down, but this has really come down to 3rd down almost every series.
The Yellowjackets dig in defensively, protecting a 6-point lead. Keith Fulton for a few. Zach Powell made the stop, number 70.
Did a good job of filling that hole there from his defensive tackle position, 6'1", 225. For a short gain, call it 2nd and 9.
Fulton with a little bit of a limp heads to the sideline, and Phipps, who's been gimpy in this game, returns. Forcade looks, throws, incomplete at the 10-yard line. Broken up by Kirkland McCulloch, intended for Stephen Dunbar.
Kirkland McCulloch comes up with another big play. He had a touchdown, an interception for a touchdown. Watch the break on his ball. He leaves his receiver and comes and makes a play. Wow! What a big-time defensive effort by Kirkland McCulloch. Left his player and made a stop.
McCulloch was guarding somebody between the numbers and the sideline, and then read the quarterback's eyes and reversed field to knock it away. 3rd and 9. Forcade looks, zings it over the middle, and he threw it behind Stephen Dunbar. That one was almost intercepted.
And he's lucky Kirkland McCulloch was in the vicinity once again. He's lucky that Forcade's pass was not intercepted. But now you're looking at a 4th down and long situation from the 34-yard line of Byrd. 33.
Rummel sends 4 new players into the game. 4th and 9. Dunbar comes to the near side. Damien Jean-Pierre is in a slot on the right side of the formation. 2 receivers at the top. The peg batted into the air, incomplete. Byrd takes over on downs. Chase Forcade's pass was swatted away at the line of scrimmage.
Great penetration by the Byrd defense up front, and that's Holloway swatted it away.
So with 9:34 remaining, Byrd 22, Rummel 16 in the Division I championship game. Byrd takes the field with its offense with 9:34 remaining in the 4th quarter. And the Yellowjackets hold a 22-16 lead with a 1st down after holding on downs at its own 33-yard line. Tyler Howard is under center. I formation this time. Collision in the backfield. Loose football. Rummel appears to have it. That play never developed cleanly. Howard collided with a running back, and the ball came out.
And Michael Mosley was Johnny on the spot as he penetrated the line of scrimmage. And look, you see a little collision right here, and right in the backfield is Mosley. Came up with the ball. You see the ball in his hands, but that was a collision. I don't know if the running back went the wrong way or Tyler Howard turned the wrong way, but boy, one happy junior, Michael Mosley.
Tyler Howard and Lewis Mills could not connect on the handoff. Byrd rarely runs out of the I formation. It did that time, and it was costly. And Forcade misses. There is a penalty marker down, though, at the line of scrimmage. Thrown by the side judge in front of the Byrd bench.
ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
Chad Sabity, what do you have for us from the Rummel sideline?
Hey guys, a great break for the Raiders. Offensively though, down to their third string tailback, number 20, Israel Tucker, now in the game. Not shy on experience, 68 carries this year, 338 yards, 5 touchdowns, nearly 5 yards per attempt. So if they want to go on the ground, Israel Tucker is a good option. Keith Fulton on the sideline getting an ankle checked out, and little Ivan Phipps just working his way back. But look for Phipps and Tucker to carry the load on this drive.
Tucker is a 5'7", 160-pound sophomore with a very healthy per carry average of 5 yards. First and 15 after the ineligible receiver downfield against Rummel. It is Tucker who bounces off a tackler at the line of scrimmage and motors forward for good yardage to perhaps the 27.
And Tucker had 87 yards against Brother Martin, averaging over 6 yards per carry. Does a good job here on his first carry, carrying a couple of tacklers with him and picking up 8 yards on that tote.
Chandler Nance eventually caught up with him and wrestled him down. Second down. Tucker again. And Nance was there to stop him again.
Byrd employing a 3-man front, Lynn, and they got 3 linebackers and dropping 5, anticipating some passing. But Byrd does a great job with the guys up front. They don't rush a lot of guys. They run Nance and Holloway and Taylor, but they do a great job. Good look right there at Chandler Nance, who has 8 sacks, 13 tackles for loss, and 7 tackles against Carolina, a game we did earlier this year.
Rummel has 224 yards on the ground. It averages 186. Here is Phipps. He's on his way to the corner of the end zone, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Ivan Phipps. This one comes from 22 yards away. And that hip does not appear to be hurting, does it?
Not right now. When Phipps bounces it outside, shows a little instinct, a little explosion, and you can see he's headed right here and bounces it out. Great run, great cavity. An opportunity for him to hit the outside, and a fatal attempt by Brad to stop him, but he did cross. Did that ball come out before he crossed, though?
A very important extra point is in the air, and it is good. Knocked home by Justin Moraine.
A lot of fans are, did he cross with the ball, Lynn? It'll be interesting to see. Watch, the ball comes out right. Is he in? That is a very close call.
This will be a better angle. And I'm not sure that he broke the plane.
He tried to hold the ball in front of him to break the plane, and it may have come loose, but the extra point kick has already gone through, and no reviewing of that.
The Baden scoring drive, 3 plays, covering 86 seconds and 30 yards. Ivan Phipps scores from 22 yards away. And once again, the resilient Rummel team, which came from a 14-point deficit to beat Scotlandville in an early playoff game. This time Rummel comes from behind to take a 23-22 lead with 8:03 to play in the fourth quarter.
They trailed by 9 at halftime, and 8 minutes to go. A lot of time for Byrd to make some noise here, and their offense has been tough to stop by the Rummel defense. Except for that fumble right there, Byrd has been doing a great job moving the ball downfield methodically.
Dominic Haggerty is back to receive the kickoff, but it won't get to him. It's taken by Tyler Johnson. Johnson weaving and working his way to the 31. Let's check in with Aaron Cofield. Aaron?
Well, and certainly a couple different lead changes here, but as Byrd came off the sideline just now, Hayden Ellison looked at his student section. He said, "Why are you guys so quiet?" And of course, they just started screaming and yelling, and then Kirtland McCulloch looked at his teammates and says, "Hey guys, we still got this." So no sense of urgency, no bad, I guess, sense of urgency quite yet here on Byrd. They're not getting nervous about it. There's still plenty of time here in this game.
Aaron, thank you. This is a team which has been through the wars this year. Second seeded in Division I. 40.5 points a game put up by Byrd. to this point in the year. And Renee, this has been a game of ebb and flow. Both teams have failed on several fourth down opportunities. There have been turnovers. But one thing has been constant. The effort has been tremendous in this exciting game in Division I.
This is a heavyweight boxing match. No quitting either one. You know, look at 87. That's Michael Dunman. How good is this team? He's actually about 6'5", 251. He's got offers. He's a junior from Notre Dame, Oregon, Stanford, and Texas A&M, and among others. He's got a 4.67 grade point average. He hardly ever sees the ball. He's basically a blocker.
His dad was a college basketball player.
Very good one. He's also, Michael Dunman is a great pitcher as well.
That's a loss of 3 by Haggerty as Rummel was able to sift through every gap. 3rd and 9.
Well, he's got a good set of mitts there. He'll be back for his junior year, and I guarantee he'll be one of the best tight ends in the state, if not in the country. There'll be a lot more recruiting as next year comes around.
Tyler Howard is under center. He fakes and he rolls right. He fires. It's incomplete. He tried to work it to Dunman, and to Dunman's right, if you're facing the play from the quarterback perspective, Lewis Mills was open and might have had the first down. Mills had worked his way out of the backfield, closer to the sideline on the far side. Howard elected to go to Dunman and threw it behind him.
And Christian Fulton was the closest Rummel rated to the ball, but Tyler Howard just locked into that receiver that time. And 4th down, Byrd's going to have to kick the ball away.
Andrew Suggs sends a wobbling punt, which bounces at the 35. It takes a Byrd roll for a moment and will come to an end at the 27. 6 minutes and 22 seconds are left. Rummel 23, Byrd 22. The excitement builds in the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. With Jackson Square in the background, we remind you that the LHSAA State Farm Classic, presented by NOLA.com and the Times-Picayune, is brought to you by State Farm, title sponsor of the 2013 Prep Classic. By NOLA.com and the Times-Picayune, presenting sponsor of the 2013 Prep Classic. By Coke Zero, real Coke taste, and 0 calories. By J.C. Fodale Energy Services, the official kickoff sponsor of the Prep Classic. And by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Louisiana, the card accepted by more top doctors. Aaron Cofield and Chad Sabity are patrolling the sideline. In our Fox Sports New Orleans broadcast booth, I'm joined by Renee Nato. I'm Lynn Rollins. Welcome to championship football. Rummel has a 1-point lead midway through the 4th quarter, and there is an injured Yellow Jacket. It appears to be a right leg injury to Zach Powell. This is Zach Purcell, who appears to have sustained a leg injury. We will check on him after this timeout. Rummel by 1. Zach Purcell is up and jogs off the field. He's had a nice game with 2 tackles, 3 assists, and a forced fumble. It appeared as though he sustained an injury to his right leg, but Zach appears to be gaining strength on the sideline. 2nd and 10 for Rummel, leading by 1. We slip under the 6-minute mark in the 4th quarter. Chase Fourcade has had a very accurate night throwing the football. Rummel sends Keith Fulton up into the middle of the pile. Fulton taking the direct snap as the tailback. They will use Fulton out of the Wild Raider formation every now and again. Fulton goes to the sideline. He's been a little bit gimpy on occasion tonight. Fourcade is 10 for 15 through the air for 216 yards. And this is a passing environment now, 3rd and long. Fourcade is flushed, pressured from the backside. He's got the receiver Castillo, but it appears to be short of the first down.
Fourcade did a good job just getting that ball off. He was heavily pressured in the backfield and just barely got the ball off shy of the first down. It's a 4th down situation, and Rummel is the one to take a chance here.
Hayden Ellison made the tackle on the big tight end. Enrique Carrasquero will punt the football. Byrd has sent 2 deep to receive it. The kick is a tumbler and a fair catch is made at the 37-yard line by Wyatt Broom, a sophomore wide receiver. That's a 30-yard kick with no return. Byrd has a field goal, run out of downs, fumbled, and punted in 4 second-half possessions. And starting everything, Renee, from the 30-yard line, between the 30 and the 35, so that's a pretty decent starting position for the Yellowjackets.
Yeah, I mean, that's... Good look at Mike Suggs. It'll be interesting to see what he calls this series. A lot of time, 5 minutes to go.
That first drive covered 11 plays, and since then, the next 3 drives have not been 11 plays in length total. Back to the bread and butter, establishing play. Back to the fullback, Lewis Mills. And Herman Thomas was there for the stop.
Good block by left tackle, number 74, Caleb Ward, opening a hole for Mills to run through and picking up 4 yards. You know, Byrd's not panicking right now, Lynn. A lot of time in this offense, even though it's a run-oriented offense, it can gash you on defense.
Back to the ground, to the right side. Mills trying to bounce it outside, but not able to turn the wing. 19 carries, 63 yards for Lewis Mills. And Renee, he's approaching 1,000 yards for the season now. He came in with 928. Add 63 to that total.
He punishes the defender when he makes contact. Adam Adung that last time made the tackle from his right outside linebacker position, but 3rd and 4, and we'll see what the play is.
It's been a while since Byrd has converted a 3rd down. The Yellowjackets are 3 for 9 in 3rd down opportunities. A late pitch to Haggerty, and he cannot turn the corner on the short side of the field. It was Christian Fulton who met him in his tracks.
And that was where the Achilles heel was for the Rummel defense, that outside pitch man. And that was the play that Haggerty burned it for a 73-yard touchdown. And this time, no go as Christian Fulton comes up from his quarterback position. Just a sophomore, shows some flashes, some great skills.
And Christian Fulton just went right through the block that was trying to be applied by Tyson Hardman.
Huge play here, Lynn. 4th down, going for it. If they don't make it, they're at their own 41-yard line.
Byrd does not want to give the ball back to Rummel via punt. Howard looks, throws it back on the screen. It is caught. There is a flag down. Another flag hits the deck, and we'll see where the receiver was run out of bounds. There are 2 penalty markers And apparently they were thrown on separate occasions.
Could he be, would it be someone downfield, an illegal receiver downfield? Ineligible.
Well, Ryan Downey, the center, caught the football. .51 Ryan Downey was on the receiving end of the pass. So we'll find out if that was an illegal receiver.
Illegal touching the offense. Loss of down.
Watch, here's the center right here. You're going to see where he goes.
He is not an eligible receiver in that formation.
And he catches the ball right here. His first catch, I'm certain, as a member of the Byrd Yellowjackets.
Well, he was not an eligible receiver. He was not set up on an end. There was no notification. So Tyler Howard threw it to an open guy. It turned out to be the center, Ryan Downey. And he is not an eligible receiver. It's a loss of down. And now Rummel. He is 2 minutes and 49 seconds away from a second straight championship.
One thing that you alluded to that Mike Suggs did not want to do is give the ball back to the Rummel Raiders right on your end of the field.
That is the first penalty for Byrd since the opening drive of the game. Ivan Phipps slithers his way for about 6. Rummel has 2 timeouts remaining, and so does Byrd.
That tackle made by Kendry Sneed. It looked like Phipps was heading for a touchdown again, a similar play he scored earlier here in the fourth quarter.
Rummel doesn't have to snap this until there's about 2 minutes left. They can take it down another 12 seconds. Forcade hands it off to Keith Fulton, and he's dumped in the backfield. A very, very fine tackle applied by Cash, the linebacker. He is the #1 tackler for the Yellowjackets.
Got 55 stops coming into this game, and 5'11", 195 junior, but he's got a nose for the ball, and he made a big tackle in the backfield that time.
And Byrd takes a timeout. It stops the clock with 1:57 remaining.
This game is far from over, and I tell you, because if they use their timeouts and they can hold Rummel right here, they get the ball back, and they have the weapons to move down the field with Mills and of course, Haggerty and Hardman.
Let's do a little clock deciphering for you. 1:57 remains. Byrd has 1 timeout remaining. It can stop the clock somewhere around the 1:50 mark if it does not allow a first down. And so Byrd could get the ball back with well over a minute and a half remaining. But it only has 1 timeout to use. Here's the pitch back to Fulton, and he's tracked down at about the 29. That's going to be 3 yards short of a first down. Byrd spends its final timeout with 1:52 left. And now Rummel has a choice to make. But Renee, I've got to believe this is 4-down territory. They certainly will not punt it. It's too far for a field goal. So they're going to try on 4th down to keep this drive alive.
And also, you open yourself up for a punt or a field goal. You know, they rush that, they block it, all of a sudden you got other problems. So you just go for it right here. You don't make it, you turn the ball over and make the team operate, you know, from their own. That's 71 yards.
Each team is calling for its best right here.
Yeah, this is.
Rummel can win the game if it gets a first down. Rummel can run out the clock if it gets a first down on this 4th down play. And Byrd can have an opportunity to get possession of the ball if it can stop Rummel on this 4th down play.
And you remember our keys, Lynn. It says, let's get physical. It'll be one of the pits, and this game will be one of the pits right now.
Chase Fourcade is calling for the football. Keith Fulton did not appear to get enough. The clock is stopped with 1:46 remaining. And Byrd puts its offense on the field.
Great penetration right there, and that was Nance coming from the weak side. Chandler Nance making the tackle. And wow, what a big-time play that was by a big-time playmaker. He had 41 tackles coming into this game. He was unblocked, and he crashed in from the outside and made the tackle on the weak side. Gives Byrd their ball at their own 28-yard line.
Byrd does not have a timeout remaining. Remember, Jake Weiss already has hit a 41-yard field goal in this game. Howard throws. That's only the second pass of the game, and he's got the receiver. It's Jordan Powell who's made his 16th catch.
Jordan Powell's a guy you want to get it to. He's averaging over 25 yards per grab. Don't have a lot of them, 15 catches. They get 16 on the season, but he's a guy you want to watch. He's a guy you want to get in the hands of.
7 of those catches have gone for touchdowns. 2nd down. Powell has his hands on it again. He runs out of bounds. No, he did not get out of bounds. Now they stop the clock and say they will stop the clock while the chains move.
Powell's been kind of quiet this game. He's a guy that's got Air Force and Southeastern Millsaps looking at him. Good speed, good hands, big target. 6'3", he's a mismatch.
The clock is moving and Byrd is wasting precious seconds. 57 seconds, 55, 53, and a false start on the left side of the line. And Byrd has not played the clock very wisely.
Ball start, offense, 5-yard penalty, repeat.
The Yellowjackets have squandered about 8 or 10 seconds.
Watch, he's
trying to get the snap.
He's in a flinch right there. Watch. You see him come up out of his stance, can't be it back. That's it, 5-yard penalty. He knows too late now.
The clock is moving. Howard is wrapped up. He's going to have to spike the ball and bring up 4th down. Byrd hustling back, trying to squeeze a couple of plays out of these last 21 seconds. That's tipped, almost intercepted, and it falls incomplete.
Almost intercepted by Christian Fulton. Would have been his 5th interception of the season, and what a big play there as you see Howard tries to force this quickly, get a ball out, and he didn't have a lot on it. The receiver fell down, intended receiver. That's Wyatt Broom, and Fulton almost came up with the interception. Unexpected, hit him in the face mask. He wasn't expecting the ball.
So it comes down to this for Byrd. Howard, wrapped up, down he goes. Jacobs with the sack. 3 seconds, 2, 1. Rummel is a champion for the 2nd consecutive year. And for only the 4th time in the 16-year career of Coach Mike Suggs at Byrd, have the Yellowjackets squandered a 4th quarter lead.
Wow. What an exciting game. This was an exciting game. No quit on either team, Lennon. Came down to a final tick.
And Rummel has won it like it has won so many other games this year. With courage, with determination, with faith, and with efficiency. 23-22. Rummel captures the inaugural LHSAA Division I championship.
No winner or loser in this game, just a survivor. What an exciting match, Lynn. What an exciting game this was.
And there is one hard-nosed but very classy coach, Jay Roth, working his way all the way to the other bench, extending his congratulations to the Byrd Yellowjackets, knowing that he was in a heavyweight battle tonight. And Rummel, as it has done so many times this year against higher-seeded teams, is able to get a win. I don't know that there's a team in Louisiana that has more faith in its head coach than the Rummel Raiders.
You know, they have a tremendous support group. They'll have every game. There's 2,500 fans waiting for the team back on Severn and Metairie. Win or lose, they'll be. You can quadruple that number tonight at the home in Metairie. But you know, this was not a knockout blow to Byrd. It just time ran out on them, and this is the kind of game you hate to see anyone go away with an L. It's just both teams really played their heart out, emptied the bucket, and did everything they possibly could for the 48 minutes.
Byrd scored first. Rummel came back to take a 7-6 lead. Byrd led by 9 at halftime, but could not hold on. And the final is 23-22. Byrd had 116 yards total offense in the first quarter and only 122 thereafter.
This is a big sack at the end by Carell Jacobs, and that really sealed the deal. There was not enough time for Byrd to get in any kind of formation and stop the clock, and that sack sealed the deal for the Rummel Raiders.
Both teams, please return to your team bench area. Please return to your team bench.
You know, Renee, Rummel did something tonight that it doesn't often do, and that's throw the ball for a whole lot of yards. It averaged 19.9 yards per pass attempt, which is a remarkable total. And there you see Stephen Dunbar celebrating with a cartwheel and a flip. So this senior closes his career with two state championships.
And he had a big game. He was a big reason why Rummel wound up on the good side of this equation here with a big grab. He had 4 over 4 catches for over 100 yards, and that 86-yard touchdown catch was major.
Of Metairie, Sean Duty of LaPlace, John Carr of Kinner, and Brian
Jay Roth trying to get his team arranged for the presentation of the trophies.
The first award is the LHSAA State Farm Division I Runner-Up Trophy, being presented by State Farm Agent Kelly Smith of Shreveport. 2013 Runner-Up Trophy Division I.
The 2013 Runner-Up Trophy being presented by Coach Mike Suggs. Byrd with 7 state championships, but none since 1949. And a very fine team in 2013 comes up 1 point short. These teams have played 3 times in postseason football, and Rummel now has won twice and wins for the first time in a championship tilt between the team from Shreveport and the champions from Metairie.
Jay Roth has been in this game 3 times and won it back-to-back last year, 12 and 13, and he lost it 5 years ago.
That was to West Monroe, which spoiled a perfect season.
Yes. What a great effort. I tell you got to feel so sad for these Byrd Yellowjackets, but what a great effort and so much to be proud of. And Coach Suggs has done an outstanding job preparing this team and to be where they are, and they have a lot to be proud of.
So we will have the championship presentation to the Rummel Raiders shortly.
How about one more time for the Yellowjackets in an outstanding performance, the 2013 state runner-up.
Most of these players were in a similar position in the final game last year for Rummel. They have taken the field for the second straight year and will hoist the championship trophy at midfield.
Is the State Farm Outstanding Player Award for Byrd High School as selected by the working media of the Prep Classic. Outstanding player for Byrd, number 10, Dominic Haggerty.
Dominic Haggerty has been awarded the most outstanding player award for Byrd, and we go back and look at his long touchdown dash in the first quarter.
73-yarder, and that was on a pitch, and he just put on the Jets afterburner and had 96 yards rushing on the game. But wow, what a big play that was to bust the game open.
There is Dominic Haggerty posing for the picture with the player of the game award for
once again, C. Byrd's outstanding player, number 10, Dominic Haggerty.
And he will return. He's just a junior, Lynn, so may see him back in the game.
Award is the Outstanding Player Award for
and Chase Forcade has been awarded the Outstanding Player Award for the Rummel Raiders.
Number 19, Chase Forcade.
Forcade, very accurate throwing the football in this championship game. It's not something he does a lot, but he hooked up with several clutch throws and laid the ball on the money much of the night.
He made the plays when he had to and did it with his feet as well. And he managed this offense and hit the big pass right here to Dunbar. That was an 86-yarder. But 11 out of 16, 219 yards, a touchdown, and one pick went the other way. But that was a big play to Dunbar, which really kind of turned this game around.
Forcade has thrown for about 1,600 yards this season. That's the most for a sophomore in Rummel school history.
Interviews to begin immediately in the interview room. Post-game interviews to begin immediately.
Last year, the Raiders were the Class 5A champions. This year, Rummel carries the big trophy home as Division I champions. Let's go down to the floor of the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. Our Aaron Cofield will chat with quarterback Chase Forcade. Aaron?
Well, congratulations, the most outstanding player. Just your reaction when you heard them call your number.
I'm just excited about the win. I mean, I just want to thank my teammates, my coaches, the offensive line, the offense, and the defense. Man, we just had a great game. Slow first half, but I'm proud of my team.
The playoffs for Rummel nothing came easy for you all. So to be able to pull this out in a game in this fashion, how big is that?
Oh, it's big for the community, the school. I mean, I'm just happy about this win. It's great.
What do you think it was that really made the difference and for you all to be successful?
The defense. Defense played an outstanding game. I just want to give it to the defense on the second half. Offense didn't do that good. I mean, we just had a lot of downs, but second half we executed, and when we got the ball, we scored.
All right, well, congratulations. Enjoy it.
Appreciate it.
Guys.
Aaron, thank you very much. And he talked about defense. Renee, again, this was a Byrd team which had a big first half. It was on a 450 or so yard pace after the first quarter in total offense and gained only about as much in the final three quarters as it did in the first quarter. So this Rummel defense indeed did find something. 116 yards of total offense for Byrd in the first quarter alone, and only 122 yards thereafter in the final three quarters.
You know, both teams, neither one of them took any hit the floor, but both took some body shots, and both defenses stepped up in big plays and made some big plays. And And you know, both defenses, not only Rummel, but the Byrd defense really played outstanding. And it was opportunities that really made a difference for the Rummel Raiders. They capitalized when they had an opportunity.
So the Raiders bunch up and pose for the picture that will forever be in their trophy case. Rummel was opened by the Brothers of the Christian Schools, or Christian Brothers, on September 10th, 1962, with 225 freshmen in its charter class. And here in 2013, the Rummel Raiders win a second consecutive state football championship.
Something that Chase Forcade said, this was a community win. Tremendous support for the Rummel Raiders, and I guarantee there'll be a few thousand waiting for the team to arrive on Severn when the buses pull up by the school.
Well, here is the Rummel rule. I do not need praise. I do not need sympathy. I do not need to be coddled. My strength comes from belief in myself. My belief in myself comes from knowing that I represent my team, my coaches, and my school. I am a Rummel Raider. And let's check in now with Coach Jay Roth. He's with our Chad Savity. Chad?
All right, guys, Rummel Nation celebrating tonight. Coach Roth, last year it was a dream come true. This year it's got to be twice as nice, back-to-back. How does it feel?
It was hard. It was hard. I mean, came in at the very end. We were down by 9 points, and I told the players we can overcome this, and they did. So I was proud of them. It wasn't pretty at times, but that was a good football team we played.
In the second half, your defense did a tremendous job, gave up just the field goal, came up with several crucial stops. How key was their play in the second half?
The adjustments they made at halftime on that pitch back, we weren't taking the pitch in the first half, and Eddie Jackal on the staff made a change and held him to a field goal. It was a pretty good move.
I heard you just tell your young quarterback, the sophomore, where does he go from here? He just won a state title.
What do you do now, boy? You're an MVP of the state championship game as a sophomore, you know, but that's a good problem to have.
The big question, Coach, do the players get the second R back on the helmets now? Do they restore the Raider pride?
No, you know what? That was the story of our season. I didn't want to give them that second R because they showed that we went up and down through adversity, you know. So, no, and I don't think they wanted that second R back right now.
All right, Coach, can you go for a three-peat? How long do you take to celebrate? When do you start working on 2014?
Mid-January, okay? I'm going to enjoy this. We need a rest. We need a rest.
All right, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, Lynn and Renee, what a win for the Rummel Raiders. Let's go back to you in the booth.
Indeed it was, gentlemen. Thank you very much. And Renee, you heard him compliment his defensive coordinator, Eddie Jackal. He's been with Jay Roth for 19 years, 15 of those as defensive coordinator. And indeed, that adjustment he made at halftime to take the pitch away from Byrd, to play so effective in the first half and especially the first quarter, was the difference perhaps defensively in this game.
That was the Achilles heel, and that was really allowed Byrd to score on them. They didn't have the pitch man, and that adjustment really made a difference here in the second half and allowed Rummel to come away with a tight 1-point victory.
So the Raiders, for the second straight year, will take the title trophy back to the campus. It was a thrilling game with give and take throughout. The final, Rummel 23, Byrd 22. For Chad Savity and Aaron Cofield and Renee Nadeau, I'm Lynn Rollins saying thanks for joining us for this Division I championship game presented by Fox Sports New Orleans from the Mercedes-Benz Superdome.